Seen a lot of cats come and go from the 4 years that I've been riding. My ride in the 4 years has been pretty smooth. Haven't had any accidents, thank God. Not too many runs in with law enforcement or anything like that. Couple of close calls, but nothing too crazy. I'm still here today, 4 years later. Confident, standing strong, still having fun on the bike. A lot of that is due to one of my friends passing maybe a month before I went and got my bike. RIP to my friend, great friend of mine. His name was Caleb. He died on a bike probably a month before I went and got my bike. Actually, my last text to him was about going to get the bike. Next thing you know, I get a phone call saying that my man's is dead. He died on the bike. Unfortunately, it was a tragic accident, and how he passed was just crazy. I don't really want to get into it. That was a reminder that these things are serious and that any day, all the fun can stop. That's part of the reason of why I have this approach that I have when it comes to riding. One of the other reasons is because of the people that I decided to watch, the people that I decided to devote my attention to when I came out and wanted to begin riding. One of the things that a lot of people are faced with, especially when you first start riding, when you're getting into riding and stuff like that, is information. You want information. And nowadays, the best place to get information is online. So you go to YouTube, you type in something like, hey, I want to learn how to ride. You know, a few people come up, but a lot of times the wrong people come up. Now you get people like a Moto Jitsu or Dan the Fireman or something like that when I was learning how to ride. And these guys or these individuals were really teaching people how to ride, but how to stay safe. And then you got everybody else like your Max Wrist, your Gixxer Bros, your Fast Lane Ds and stuff like that, that are, you know, out there riding, but it's more for entertainment purposes. Why am I saying this? Most of the people that I run into that get bikes, they bring up some of the high-powered names, some of the high-powered influencers. And they know these names before they even start riding the bike. So my thing is if you're watching these people, right? Some of the guys that are out there popping wheelies, going extremely fast, doing all the crazy stuff, doing the stunts and stuff like that. If you're watching those people before you even learn how to ride a bike, how are you gonna come into the game? My guess is that's gonna be your benchmark of what's acceptable and what's not. Well, that's how it was with me for a while. Actually, I was a huge Max Wrist fan before I even got the bike, before I even started riding. And when I actually got the bike and realized how real it was, I started watching other channels. See, what you watch is in your brain, and what's in your brain translates to how you ride. And sometimes if you watch the wrong stuff, you can be done with your riding journey within a year. There's plenty of people, like I made a video before, that get these bikes and they don't make it past 2 months of having a motorcycle. A lot of times that's due to some people just being influenced by the wrong people. So what you have to be mindful of is putting healthy stuff into your brain. And sometimes when we on there on YouTube, the algorithm spits us out all kind of information. And sometimes it's hard trying to navigate to what's real information, real good information, and what's bad information. We're gonna figure it out on this episode. You're getting into your riding journey, so you hop on YouTube, you jump in, you're like, yo, I'm about to find me some stuff to watch, man. But I wanna learn some real riding, man. And I need to learn it from somebody that knows how to ride real good. So you think to yourself, hey, if I'm gonna learn how to ride from somebody that rides real good, why don't I learn from the best? Why don't I learn from a real track rider? Somebody that's on the track, giving them hell. You can see how they going into the turns. Look at them leaning off the bike, dragging knees, sparks flying from the knee thing. It's crazy. This guy is the best. If I'm gonna learn how to ride, I'm gonna learn how to ride from him. I'm not gonna learn how to ride from somebody out here willy-nilly on the streets. What can he teach me? I wanna learn from the best. Family, that was my mindset for a long time. Let me learn from the best. Well, let me tell you something. Let me give you a little bit of insight about track riding and street riding. See, on the track, it's a controlled environment, right? Everybody's going the same direction. The turns are the same. By the time you really get to going fast on the track, you done already been around the track a few times. So you know where each turn is, you know where each bump is, where each hill is, all of that stuff, right? Now, what's the huge difference here between that and street riding? Street riding, you got potholes. Street riding, you got some cars coming this way. Street riding, you got people texting in the car. Street riding, you got people cutting into your lane. Street riding, you got oil spilled in the middle of the road. Street riding, you got blind corners on the mountains. Street riding, you got rain coming down, slippery conditions. I mean, you got it on track riding, but you got special tires made for that, right? Street riding, there's many more factors that go into getting from point A to point B. So street riding is gonna be somewhat different. The way that you approach braking on the streets is totally different. The way you approach throttle on the streets is totally different. For those of you who don't know, on a track, the goal is this: full throttle, full brakes. Never any coasting in between. When you're coasting in between on a track, that means you're not doing something right. Full throttle, full brakes. So some of those techniques that are being applied and being taught on the track don't translate well into the street. 9 times out of 10, you don't need to be doing full brakes on the street anyway. If you ever hitting full brakes on the street, that means you're doing something wrong as far as your planning, your vision, or your speed for the street. You see what I'm saying? Just that small difference is gonna tailor the advice that is given to you. Cornering. On the track, when you come out of the corner, you need to be on that throttle so hard that the back tire starts to spin. And when that back tire starts to spin, that's when you know your traction threshold. You end up doing that on the streets, you're gonna go down to the ground. It happens all the time, especially with sport bike riders. We get in the sport bike, we like, yo, I wanna learn how to ride a sport bike from somebody that knows how to ride that ZX-10 crazy. I wanna learn how to ride a sport bike from somebody that knows how to ride that R1 around the circus of America. I want to learn how to ride that ZX-10 from somebody that can ride that ZX-10 with the best of world SBK. We fall into that trap. But see, it's totally different on that track and out here on the street. Out here on the street, you got to learn different things if you want to be elite. If not, you might end up part of the street and it won't be discreet. Everybody gonna be getting weak. So be careful of the advice you take in. Street riding and track riding is totally different. If you're gonna be doing most of your riding on the street, you might wanna learn from somebody that's been riding on the street, like a Moto Jitsu or something like that. If you're just gonna get the bike and go crazy on the track, then you know who to watch for that. Tell me I'm wrong, y'all. You got your bike and your peoples hit you up, your friends hit you up. You got some friends that know how to ride. You got a friend that knows how to ride. And as soon as you get your bike, they want to teach you stuff. It's natural for us to want to teach others what we know. So what happens? Your friend comes through, he's got his boy with him, and you riding. And man, he's zooming, zipping in and out of cars, hitting the corners fast, braking hard, doing the endos, popping the wheelie, going crazy, having a blast. This dude is just kicking it, having so much fun on the bike, and he's fast. He's a street legend. Everybody knows he's a legend. Let me tell you something about these legends, man. These legends, sometimes they pass away. If we think about it, we all know street legends out here. Some of the fastest guys in the A-Town, they done passed away. A lot of y'all are learning how to ride from these people. I've seen it happen plenty of times. I've seen people that really know how to control that bike super fast on the street pull up with somebody who just got that bike last week. Crazy part about it is one of the two won't be at the next meet. When I first started riding, I started linking up with a lot of people. Some of these cats was just crazy. I remember I was talking to Ducati Z and he was like, yeah, man, I was riding, man. I was down there at the BP. We linked up, man. I linked up with some cats and these cats was just cruising at like 120. He was like, man, I knew right then that wasn't for me. I did the same thing, bro. And everybody has done the same thing. We done went out there with these type of cats that's cruising at 120. When you learn how to ride from those type of people, that's how you're gonna continue to ride. That's gonna be your threshold. Anything less than that, you're like, I ain't really riding for real. When you do that, you setting yourself up for failure. I'm not saying stay away from those type of people. Nah, ride with them. But know that, hey, that type of riding might not end well. Get you some other people to ride with. Somebody that's more responsible, that's not doing all that crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna speed a little bit, but we're not going crazy. There's some of them cats out there that just get on that throttle and they doing this the whole time. Riding with those cats is the wrong kind. Let me tell you, it's caskets going up to heaven, and it's a long line. All right, so let's swing back to the social media thing. Like I said before, we're not going to the library to pick up no books, trying to learn how to trail brake or do anything like that on the bike, right? We getting on that YouTube, man. We getting on that Instagram. We're going to find out how to ride through those avenues. Let me tell you something about that, man. I've been doing this content creation for about 4 years. One thing that I have to battle with is, do I put out content that gets the views, or do I put out content that I know helps people? That's the decision that we are all faced with as content creators, social media influencers, or whatever, right? All of these content creators that you have out there, a lot of these motorcycle people are performance-based, meaning what they're doing is for performance reasons. I want to go extremely fast. I want to hit this corner as fast as I can hit it. I want to drag some knee. I want to drag elbow, because the performance is what opens the eyes. It's what get the clicks. It's what get the views. It's what brings in the revenue, the wheelie popping, the stunting and stuff like that. So there's going to be more of that out there. It's going to be more in your face. It's going to be more enticing for you to watch. But like I said before, this is the diet. You have to be careful of what you choose to put inside of your brain. Another thing about the social media influence, especially when learning to ride, is we see some of these guys that go out there, they might wreck or something like that, and you'll see just the easy parts of the wreck. Yeah, the person wrecked and they healed up, but you don't see the pain behind the scenes. You don't see the medicine these people have to take, the addiction to the opioids and stuff like that, that might come from snapping a leg off or doing something crazy like that in the streets on a motorcycle. So you only get to see one side of it. And when you see that one side, it encourages you to ride like that. Hey, it's not that bad if something goes bad. The truth is it can get that bad. So you have to be careful, and you always have to remember that there's another side to this stuff out here. Some of these people, they be riding so much, you see them riding, posting content, next thing you know, they haven't posted any content for a while. Then you gotta find out through the grapevine that something crazy done happened. You know what I'm saying? So that information is not gonna be on the front like that. Keep that in mind. So the question becomes, who the hell do I ride with? Most of the people out here I see riding crazy. Who do I ride with that's responsible? How do I find that? One of the key things that you can look for is somebody that respects your pace. What do I mean by that? All of us who are experienced riders, we could look at a rider and be able to tell if that rider has just started riding or if they have years of experience of riding. If you were to pull up on me and I can spot out that you're a new rider or that you're not comfortable with the bike, my initial thought is I need to take it at a slower pace, and I need to make sure that this person is comfortable. I don't want them trying to keep up with me because something bad can happen to them, right? I'm also thinking this person is trying to grow. So what does that mean? This person is trying to learn things while riding. You can't learn much if you're focused on staying alive. A good partner is going to honor and respect that pace that you have. If you have a partner that doesn't respect that, next thing you know, they flying, you trying to keep up with them, and the bike goes down. And that same partner who doesn't respect that, he might not even turn back around and help you get the bike up. Or when he does turn back around to help you get the bike up, he got the camera rolling trying to get some views. Or if he's not doing that, they ain't chipping in no snaps for you to get your bike back intact. So you gotta think about that, family. So go ahead and cop the bike, man. Make sure you get the right one. We're gonna talk about that soon too. But just keep in mind that it's real out here. Learn from the right people. Learn from somebody that hasn't been out here just crashing the bike up. I see a couple channels out here and people trying to learn from these cats that crash bike after bike. And I'm not talking about the real riding cats. Like the real riding cats, they're gonna crash bikes. The racers and stuff like that, even some of the guys in the mountains trying to get faster and faster, they've already accepted crashing. Their part of crashing is learning though. It's a little bit different. You got some of these guys out here that's giving riding advice, taking a spill at the traffic light, man. real clown stuff. Be careful on who you watch, man. There's good people out here. Learn from somebody that talks about the knowledge of the bikes, the different details of the bikes, the brakes, how it's not an on and off switch. Learn from somebody that prioritizes safety. Learn from somebody that prioritizes the knowledge of the bike, like Moto Jitsu's channel. Those habits that he had in his video transferred over to me. Some of those habits that I learned from Moto Jitsu is honestly part of what's keeping me safe today. Be careful on who you choose to learn from. Get that bike, go out there and have fun, man. This riding journey, it's a journey, man. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's your boy Six, I'm gone. Peace.